Well, there weren't that many boom times between 2006 and 2009. We were just starting to ramp up. I had a good solid base of customers, and the economy went headed south, and people lost jobs. I would miss someone and say, well, I haven't seen so-and-so for a while. Oh, she got laid off, or he got laid off. And again, remember, where my store is located is in the heart of the West Loop Business District. So the kinds of things I've done is what they tell you don't do. You cut back on advertising. I had a direct mail program. It was very expensive, so I no longer use direct mail, but I do more, how should I describe it, organic type of advertising. I mean, like a couple of weeks ago, I was at Cardinal Fitness passing samples out. I've gotten 2 regular customers from that event, people who didn't know I was around. You pass flyers out, you do things that are less expensive than traditional advertising, for example. And what has me getting out of bed and keeping the store open, day after day is a couple of things. I have a bid in for a CTA concession. Now, if that materializes, that would be just wonderful. I called and they said, well, we are still evaluating the applications. So that's one thing. The building directly in front of my store is being renovated. It's going to be student housing. And that's going to be completed in July of this year. And
disposable income.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting there looking at, my store packed with students. Hopefully it works out the way I anticipate. So that's another thing. I was made aware a couple of weeks ago that the Department of Aviation is going to be issuing an RFP for a coffee concession at Midway in May or June. I'm planning to toss my hat into that ring. So it's more things that are on the horizon that's keeping me going, and more so than what's happening today. Today is just struggle to get from one day to the next, and keep your head above water.
Good. So being resourceful and trying some more unconventional guerrilla style and organic marketing and sales tactics, and B, keeping your eye on the future and looking at the different opportunities that might be out there as well.
And also, I failed to mention this, but those of you, like the lady in the back who visited my store, know it's pretty big. It's 1,620 square feet, a little bigger than a coffee shop should be, but the space was there, and I'm using it. I'm trying to attract events, people to host events there, and I'm getting more and more people having meetings there. I do have a conference room, so instead of just pushing coffee and smoothies or the products, I'm using the facilities as well to bring additional revenue in that way.
Good. Donald, how about you folks? What have you been
well,
doing?
I've been quite fortunate, even though I sell a luxury item, and most of the industry has been down 20 to 40%. In 2009, I ended up just 2% behind. This January, I went 53% ahead of last January.
And what do you attribute that to? How are you 18%?
How did I do that? Good old-fashioned ingenuity. I personally called each and every client starting in September to see how they were doing, what's going on, let them know that I'm still there, and it turned into revenue. You're still there. Oh, some people were surprised that the CEO and the owner of a company would make a personal call and not job it out to their employees. I would expect Victor or Vanya to be calling. How are you, Don? It turned into $10,000, $15,000 sales. That's how. Going forward in the future, I've invested in CAD equipment for my young designers. CAD is computer-aided animated design, which is the wave of the future in the jewelry industry. And just keeping those personal connections. Yes, there's big firms out there like Blue Nile, which is price point. I don't sell price point. I sell quality. That's what I get across to my clients.
But it is important, though, that you take into account a website and how it's drawing business. I don't sell online because mine's a very personal, one-on-one relationship, but a lot of my business comes because people find my website through whatever resources. That's why the personal relationship thing, that's why I do things like this. That's why I'm active in many nonprofits that work with people in my industry, because I become known as the subject matter expert. When they say we need somebody who knows what's going on with cancer aftercare, who are we going to call? They're going to call me. And the more stuff I go to and the more my name gets out there, the more people find me. Then I get covered on more websites. I'm on the U.S. Chamber website because they have something called Free Enterprise. I gave them my story. They posted it. That's where all those spiders out there start finding the name Second Act, so that when people say they put in wig or they put in mastectomy, Second Act comes further and further up on the list, even though I don't sell online. And Chris, maybe you can talk a little about that.
Sure. I'd say we've been pretty fortunate. So the construction company, we grew 300% last year. How many home remodelers can you say had that same growth rate? And I attribute all of that to our website, online marketing. We're very good at getting leads. The fact is, the way the market is, we were competing with a bunch of people that were doing it for nothing, and the profits weren't there. So I mentioned earlier, that's why we're looking to potentially sell it right now. In terms of the web design and online marketing company, it's been interesting. I think this year, since January, it's definitely been looking up. November we had a really good month, but it's still how's it going to look month to month? I know this month we've already done 200% more than last month, which is great. We want to continue to see that trend, because usually when the markets start to turn around, we think that people make investments in marketing. More importantly, we hope we make that investment in online marketing so people find your website, and it's very effective if done right.
So it sounds like what Patty's referring to here is the fact that you can allocate a portion of your marketing budget to your website, SEO, search engine optimization, search engine marketing, and other social media. And I realize that some of those terms are making a few of you cringe because you've heard them, but you still don't know exactly what they are, and that's fine. I mean, many people don't know exactly what they are. But the point here is that they are producing results from a marketing standpoint. Maybe not a sales standpoint necessarily, but what Patty was emphasizing was that they're drawing people to her store.
I have a website, and I'm on Facebook. I go on Facebook every day. It is a tool. How successful a tool depends on how much time you put into it and what you're expecting to get out of it.
It's not the silver bullet.
No,
it's
by no means.
It's one piece of your marketing portfolio. Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you're a B2B business, and Chris, maybe you can address this, is a web presence as important? Do you get business from do you have a website for your business, and do businesses find you by the web?
Yes. That and referral is how we get primarily all our business. We don't do any direct mail, traditional media.
For your Lakeshore branding?
For Lakeshore branding. I think it depends on what industry you're in. So let's say, for us, being on Twitter and Facebook, we engage with a lot of those tech kind of focused people, and we do earn business off of it, through referral, building these kind of relationships. But we have clients that are like, we have one that sells industrial vibrators. It's like a part of a manufacturing, and you would think how many people are searching for it, but because of his website, he sells his product now not just in Chicagoland but all over the world, selling this component that's vital to manufacturing. So I think the web is an excellent resource, trying to find those kind of objects, but you got to do what makes sense for your industry.
Hey, I got a call from a lady in Bogota, Colombia. She was going to be in Chicago, and she wanted to make an appointment to see me when she was in town. So believe me, it draws people in.